Hi, welcome to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. And I'll be looking at War for Cybertron Kingdom Ultra Magnus in this review. This is an extensive retool of the Siege mold, and it retains actually quite a bit of the Siege mold. A little too much in my opinion. He looks pretty decent in this Earth form. More accurate cartoon form, but he looks pretty good. He doesn't have any of that battle damage, which I really appreciate. He was kind of a bitch to get, but I was able to get one, albeit the box suffered greatly. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. Alright, and first up, let's take a quick look at the packaging. The packaging for this actually looks really good. I was planning on keeping this box, but it did not survive the shipping. Actually, I take that back. It did not survive before the shipping. On the front, you get the standard sort of Kingdom look, where you have a vehicle mode, smaller window. On the side, you have a nice looking rendition of Ultra Magnus here. It is kind of weird that they left the side open. You can see the inner robot's foot there. I mean, it's accurate to the toy. It's just kind of odd that it has hollow robot bits there in the painting. You think they would have, filled that in. But if you look at his chest here, there's a big, huge puncture right there. They set something on it and punctured it. On the top, it's completely crushed. Crushed all the way down the side, retaped. Got inspection with a somebody's signature or on it, and this is just, the box is destroyed. It's just completely crushed here. The inside was crushed too. This was ripped open. Some parts of it was retaped down. The toy, luckily, came out unscathed, but yeah, overall, I'm not exactly happy with this. I was going to keep this box. This is from Best Buy, so if you're a box collector, be wary about ordering from them. Now, there is a couple differences here. This doesn't have any red on it here, which is kind of odd for this, I guess, the pre-production photo of a rendering here. It just doesn't have that at all. It does look kind of weird, all blue, but you see him in his robot form for both, and his truck mode, and his truck and trailer mode. Odd that these placements are back here instead of up here where there are ports for them. The card I got was exactly the same one as I got last time, was the Dinobot. It does come with instructions, of course. They are large, and just a big poster, but they're clear and easy to read. But if you have like the one of 3 or 4 of this mold already, then you don't really need these. And here is Ultra Magnus. I have him armed up already. He does come with the same gun. He comes with, as the Siege, he comes with 2 little newly tooled rocket launchers that go on his shoulders. These are, I guess, a throwback to they look like the Masterpiece version launcher, which is a throwback to the Generation 1. They sit higher up here, so you can have clearance for his arm, but you can switch them from side to side, like from the opposite sides. You'll just lose some articulation in the arms if you want to have it a little bit more G1, to sit down a little lower like that. But you do lose a little bit. Not too bad. They do look good, but you definitely, depends on your preference, right? However you want to pose him. If you're just going to be standing there yourself, there's no reason why you can't have him upside down. Because it looks good either way. Now, there is a lot of retooling. This whole piece is retooled. He has a new head, new shoulder pieces. These are the same. He has a new belt piece on one side. This front of these shins are exactly the same. This is a retool on the side. And he has a bunch of retooled pieces in the middle and a retooled on the front. This bumper piece is retooled. This is the same. This is the same. The inner robot legs are the same. We'll get to that. Let's check out this one right now. So let's do a quick turnaround of him fully armored up. One thing I do like is this actually sits a little bit more flat. The backpack, if you will, piece. Than the Siege, or the Siege doesn't quite line up. This actually looks a lot better. He does have light piping, although it is kind of difficult to see. If you get in there, if I get some light in there, see. I'll move this light over. knock over some things. I kind of get to see it there. Just there you go, right there. Yeah, he does have a little bit of light piping. It's like I said, it's not the best light piping in the world, but it is something he has. If it catches the light just right, it looks pretty good. He does have a nice looking, let's get back in there, nice looking head sculpt. Definitely G1 with the big eyes, the open crest. I like this head sculpt a lot better than the Siege, actually. This is really, really good looking. I like these has clear windows here. Lots of detail. Kind of has the detail of the toys stickers on the chest, which is really nice. Before I get into the inner robot, let's do a couple size comparisons here. Or not size comparisons, let's just say comparisons in general, because we pretty much all know what size he is. Here he is with the slightly yellow Generation 1 original. There he is with Legends. I believe that was Legends. The Takara one. There he is. Oh, the beastly Masterpiece version. I could go all the way back here. It just dwarfs him. That Masterpiece is massive. And finally, there he is with the Siege version. Now, as you could tell, the white is much brighter on this one, which really pops. It really looks nice. Such a good looking white. I love the contrast on this one compared to this one. This one looks dirty and kind of old, where this one actually has a bright sort of, presence. I mean, it shows up. It looks really good with the contrast between the blue and the white and the red. It looks very good. As where this one has this cream color, which is much different. You see some paint apps. He has red here. He does not have red in there. Silver around the outside of the shin piece and does not have it there. Of course, he has all the silver brushed on detail. It does not look good at all, in my opinion. Shoulder pieces are completely redone. You see the launchers compared there. The sides of the legs compared there. He has all new rims and tires. These pieces are the same gun. The lighter one goes on the Siege. Odd, because this was, Generation 1 had a white one. Here's what I mean about this piece right here in the back. This is kind of broken up, or this lines up a lot better. The red on this one is darker all the way around. But both of these figures look very good. Now, articulation in this mode, all the way around. He has wrist swivels. 90 at the elbow. He has the bicep out here, like I showed earlier. Ball jointed head, just like Siege. It's all exactly the same as Siege. 360 at the waist. Nice ratcheting on the legs. Not too far back, but pretty far forward. 90 at the knee. Thigh swivel and ankle tilt. Now let's get this guy all taken apart so we can see his way he looks in the white Optimus Prime style mode. Now, I've gone through all of this before in my Siege review of Ultra Magnus. So if you have not watched that, please go down and check it out. And there, oh, one more thing. There we go. Robot mode belt piece. There's Ultra Magnus and his robot mode. Get him a little centered on there. Actually, this mode I thought looks kind of bulky, kind of strange, and he does in pictures, but in person it's a lot better. One of the things I absolutely like about this is this gorgeous blue. And I don't know if you can see from here, but it's actually a translucent blue. It's actually clear plastic. I don't actually get the light in there. I can kind of see it right there. But it is clear. Let's see if I can get that in focus. You can see where it's a clear plastic, but it's dark. It gives it a nice bit of depth into the windows because you can't really see through them. Maybe if the sun outside the sun could hit it right, but these lights are really bright. Still, you can barely see through it, but it gives it a nice look, a nice almost glass-like look. I like all the detail on the chest here, the front of the cab. I think it looks really, really good. I really like the detail they stuck into this. It has the same head as the Siege version, and it has pretty much the rest of it's the same as the Siege, even the belt piece. It just doesn't have all that paint. Of course, you have this on the back, which is a new tooling also. And let me see if I can get him to stand up straight. There we go. So it looks decent. I don't really have a lot of complaints about this, to the point where I'm almost wondering if, man, if I had these completely white, it wouldn't look right with the Siege on it, but I don't know. I like displaying it like this. I think this looks clean. All right, starting off for comparison, let's take a look at his Siege counterpart. They are painted a little differently. This chest, of course, is completely different. One of the things that I will say, even though I really like this bulkiness of this one, he looks a little slender, has more of a heroic sort of broad shoulder, smaller waist than he does. It's not a big difference, but it's noticeable. None of this paint's really crappy. Dry brushing with the silver paints on it. You could really tell the difference in color. The faces are the same. The head crest is painted silver on the Kingdom, where the Siege is painted blue. He does not have these painted on the lights, but they painted this. Overall, this one has more paint, and he has more guns. And I forgot to mention that, actually. This one does not come with the other two guns. Like this, these guns that this one comes with, he does not come with these. Which, I mean, it's kind of a shame, because you're getting a little less value out of this than this. In my opinion. You don't really need two more of these. This doesn't go with it, so I get why they didn't include it. Just thought I'd mention it. Here he is with the Galaxy Optimus Prime Inner Robot. Again, came with these guns. He did not. But this is the third remold of this guy. Here he is with... Wow, it shows up way more yellow in person on the camera than it does in person. Holy hell. The Generation 1. I'm going to need to get a much wider version of this. But there he is with the Generation 1. Anyway, so I'm going to get him into car mode. If you want to see the transformation, check out my Siege. Now, there are a couple ways that this is different a little bit than the Siege. Just the way the trailer connects, because he actually sits a bit more forward. So once you have it in this form right here, you'll see these little clips, which go on the little clips on the outside, similar to Siege. These clips are actually the same place as Siege, but the attachments are in a different spot on the trailer in this remolded piece here. These also sit further up, so they do not sit in these little slots as the original ones do on the Siege. So to do this, you just take it, and there will be a tab there and a snap there. Oh, that's upside down. These go hollow side up. Put those together. Slide that in. I find this much easier to do like this, which despite on camera, which never works out on camera, but will work out every single time when I rehearse it outside of the camera. So clip it in and push that in, and you do that, just kind of bring it in, and you do it for both sides. Just kind of take that tab in, and then it clips like that. There he is. And then you could take now on the back of the box, it shows him here, or there are ports there, but you know, Generation 1 had him there. So let's take those, either side on the 5mm pegs, stick them like that, and take his gun, and you can put it right there, here, on the top there, which actually, in my opinion, looks the best, or it could be back here. There you have him in his truck mode. So he does sit a little further back, and you can see the fists. It's not too bad. But man, they could have done something. They retooled this whole piece. They could have had it so you turn them around and the other side of the arm was the truck. And they could have done something. They could have done something and they didn't. They went the cheap route, and that's what bothers me. On the side of the truck, you'll see some detail that wasn't there on the Siege, where it has sort of the reminiscence of the Generation 1 back end and the Generation 1 front end, complete with a spot for a little Autobot logo they left unpainted. Seems that there was originally going to be an Autobot logo there, but it is not there. This piece is new. This piece is new. I'm not sure about these. They might be new, but let's check that out on the comparison. Here he is with the Siege. And as you can tell, if I get them both in frame here, these two pieces, as I mentioned, are the same, where these two pieces are retooled. Actually, these three pieces here, this is a retool here a little bit because it has this bottom piece to give that sort of Generation 1 look. You can't really fit a car in there. You kind of fit one on top, I guess. Not too much, you know, of a car carrier. I think this one actually looks a lot better as a solid vehicle. It looks like the RID one, the 2001 Robots in Disguise. I like that homage. I think that's really cool. But I still think we have yet to get a decent or a really good Generation 1 styled Ultra Magnus in car form. That does not include the Masterpiece. The Masterpiece is awesome. The Legends one is pretty good. It's really stylized, but that's closer, much closer than this one is. Not a disappointment per se. He does look, I think I like the way it looks. These aren't as bad. It looks much better in person than it does in shots or even probably in this video. Okay, so in conclusion, he's a decent Ultra Magnus, and I could recommend him if you don't already have Siege. He is pretty much just a Siege mold. He does look really good. I love the bright white instead of that cream color on the Siege. This is the one that I wanted for Siege. Now I have two, and I don't know exactly how I'm going to display them. There is still a lot to be liked about the Siege as a separate, not character, but separate part of your collection, like separate piece in your collection. However, this is the one I originally wanted. He is very good. I do think that he has not a very good alt mode. I think they could have done a lot with that. I really do think that the trailer is too short. It actually isn't a car carrier. You can't really carry cars in it. It doesn't have that iconic G1 shape that it should have. The hands, what the hell did they think? What the hell were they thinking having the hands like the Siege one? At least with the Siege one, you could cover them up with the pieces of the armor, and it looks okay because it's not even supposed to be in Earth mode. This one being in Earth mode, it just doesn't look good that way. It doesn't actually turn. I think that they seriously sacrificed a good Earth mode for the alt mode and just sort of put on a facade, if you will, of a G1 Ultra Magnus. That said, he does look great in this form, and that's how I'll be displaying him. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs down vote button if you have to. Subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.